disappointing time for South African cricket.
It was a shock.
Captain, leader, legend, fixer. On April 7, 2000, the Delhi police charged Hansie Cronje with fixing matches in a one-day series against India. 2 months later, Cronje himself testified in detail about accepting money from bookies for manipulating results. His great passion of the game, and for his teammates, he confessed, was matched by an unfortunate love for money.
Daily newspaper, probably a headline summed it up best, where they said that the Pope, yes, Hansie, no.
Cronje had been one of the most inspirational figures in South African cricket after their reintroduction into the international fold post-apartheid. He was a powerful middle-order batsman who bowled slow medium, straddling the ground between utility player and all-rounder. But more than that, he was a supreme leader and an ambassador for South African cricket.
Cronje was such a big player. He was such an iconic player. Leading South Africa back after, he was not the first captain, but he was the most iconic captain till then. And you always thought of Cronje as a guy who was clean. You would have never suspected Cronje.
I think it took the whole world by surprise, particularly the cricketing world. I think as teammates, it probably took us by surprise most of all. We would never, ever have thought that you got involved in such affairs.
Yeah, it caught everybody by a huge surprise, really. I guess initially, like everybody, had shock and couldn't believe it.
There had been murmurs about match fixing before this, and players had faced both censures and fines. But this was the first time a man of Cronje's stature had confessed. If one of the nicest guys in the sport was dirty, how clean could the game really be?
I think sadly it did set us back. It set the South African team back in terms of where it was going to next, in terms of leadership, in terms of our standing in world cricket. But I guess the upside that it exposed, well, not probably as much as we knew then, but certainly as time went on, what was really happening in world cricket.
If Cronje hadn't confessed, match fixing would have never been proved. It would have always stayed a rumor.
In October, 4 months after his confession, the South African Cricket Board banned Cronje for life. He still managed to divide opinion. Had the sport itself become filthy? Was his role in the scandal only a reflection of the darkness enveloping cricket? Some fans believed to the end that the sentence was too harsh.
It's a very difficult subject to talk about because there's still those that love him and adore him, and there's those that are, extremely upset with what he did. But I think it's time to forgive and move on.
And often today I'm left wondering, well, where would he be today? What role would he be playing in world cricket, South African cricket? And had that not happened, I'm sure he would have been one of the true statesmen of our game and South African cricket, most of all.
There's an interesting anecdote about Cronje. Speaking at a dinner function, he had once recited verses from Shakespeare's Hamlet for 40 minutes without notes. How ironic, then, that he ended up as one of the most tragic characters in cricket history.